Well, good evening, friends, and welcome to part 2 of our Cape Henlopen, Delaware beach adventure.
See it?
So in last week's video, you seen that we rode the ferry over to Cape May, and we kind of exhausted ourselves. What we originally thought was just going to be a short ride turned into quite the expedition.
It was not short. It was not short. That was my bad. I thought I was wrong.
Pretty much for the whole rest of the trip then, we spent a lot of time relaxing. So then Saturday morning, we decided to go over to the beach for sunrise, which is kind of an East Coast thing because you're basically one of the first people in the United States to see sunrise if you're on the East Coast. So
Where we went for sunrise was the main beach where everyone else tends to go. But we didn't take any supplies over or anything. We just went over for sunrise. And then we went back and had breakfast and gathered up all of our stuff. And then took it down to what we hoped would be a less populated beach. And it was also one of the areas there where you can take the dogs. So we ended up taking the dogs with us when we went back. You remember, because they weren't allowed at the swimming beach.
I think it was right around like 10 or 11 o'clock or so. Basically, from like 10 o'clock on throughout the rest of the day, there were dolphins extremely close to shore. There were basically no waves the whole time we were there. Extremely low tide for whatever reason, and the dolphins were, at times, only like 30 feet out from the shore. We had a real good time watching that all day long.
We were very lucky. We saw dolphins every day we were there. Every day. It was so cool.
So according to the sign, there would be 13 of these towers that were built, and this was all to protect the Delaware Bay during World War II, I believe. The Navy had a strong presence in this area where Cape Henlopen State Park is located. I know I've seen these towers because we've spent a lot of time in this area growing up, going to Bethany Beach, and several years ago in Dewey. And but yeah, so they had 13 towers, and you know, they were built to observe and protect the Delaware Bay. just like as you've seen in last week's episode, they had a bunker over at Cape May, and there's a lot of bunkers here. And the Navy actually has a fort here. I think it's Fort Henry, but I could be wrong. It's just across the way here. I think we will either take you there tomorrow or now or something. But right now, let's climb up the tower. Sarah's already, I think, all the way up to the top. Just like at the lighthouse, she's going to be the first to the top. This actually says United States Army Observation Tower. So, could have been the Army and the Navy had presence here. Let's go up. Now, it looks like, according to the sign out there was a ladder that led up to the top. But now, in today's world, there's a spiral staircase, just like a lighthouse. So friends, right there, you can actually see another one of the lookout towers. And there's a lighthouse. And then over there is another lookout tower. So friends, obviously there are several of these observation towers. In the Cape Henlopen area. This one in particular is near the fort, the naval fort, which you can see right out here. But you can see at least 3 other observation towers from this one. And, you know, pretty much what they were doing was standing here watching the ocean, waiting for attack. You can get a good view of the ferry, the Cape May and Lewes ferry that we were on yesterday from here, and the lighthouses associated with such. You can't really see Cape May from here. Now, I bet you on a clear day you might have the ability to. There's some sort of structure just over that way. I'm not sure what it is, some sort of bunker or some such thing, because there's an entrance that goes like into it underground almost. And then that direction towards Rehoboth, I'm pretty sure that that's Rehoboth Beach in the distance. Well, it's our final day here, Sunday. We got to be out by noon, so we're coming over to the beach just real quick to walk around and just to relax a little bit. But wanted to show you behind me just all the beautiful scenery here with the dunes. And we definitely wish that we had another day here, because there's so much at this state park that we could explore. And, you know, we didn't because we was over at Cape May, which is totally a worthwhile experience. So it's like you need just one more day than what we had, I think. But we've really enjoyed ourselves. Yesterday we spent most of the day just at the beach, and watching them dolphins all day long was probably the coolest thing I've ever experienced. That's the most dolphins I've ever seen at the beach. And look, there they are. Let's get some footage here of more dolphins. They're not as close right now as they were yesterday, and I didn't have my camera out when they were real close yesterday. But it's just been awesome. Never seen so many dolphins. Never seen the water this calm either.
love the beach. I wish we could stay here for at least a few more days. There's so much here that we didn't get to explore. There's a lot of more observation towers, and we're gonna try and get the nature center done later this morning, and then sadly we have to go home.
Yeah, so we are gonna take you over to the nature center. It opens at 10. It's 9 o'clock now, so we're just spending a little bit of time here at the beach. Gonna watch these dolphins. They're just going nuts out there. Yesterday, I'm hoping I caught it on camera, but there was a baby and it was just flopping around, and it stood straight up out of the water the one time. I've never seen anything like this before. Of course, now I don't have the camera out, and look at them. They're going nuts.
Ooh! Ooh! Uh-oh!
The horseshoe crab shell. So here you got the fishing pier on the bay side. It's pretty cool to walk out there. Definitely next time we come here, gonna bring the kayaks and do some kayaking around here. And it'd be pretty cool to walk out there too.
That's a shrimp. There's 2 shrimp in there. No, but I don't think they will let you catch them. I don't think so.
Well, everybody, it took us 7 hours to go 250 miles from our site at Cape Henlopen in Delaware to our home here in Bedford. So it's yeah, there was an accident in Delaware and it took forever to figure out a route to get back home, but we made it. We're here. The episode's over. We'll see you probably in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks is the start of our big trip for the year. We're going on a drive that should take 9 hours, so at this rate, you know, maybe it'll take like 12 or something. But yeah, stay tuned for that. It's exciting. We'll see you then. It'll be a Thursday, 5 o'clock episode, just like normal. And thanks for watching. We appreciate you. We'll see you in a couple weeks.